Hello, my friend. In this video, we are discussing business purpose, how to connect employees' work to an inspiring purpose. This is from an interview we did with Chris Edmonds, author of Good Comes First. This is Business Leadership Today. I'm your host, Matt Tenney.
What's very interesting and unfortunately very common as the U.S. particularly as Western organizations began to move out of the agriculture age into the industrial age, and now as we've evolved into the social age, the problem is that the only thing that was measured, monitored, and rewarded was results, which meant results at any cost, good for you. And yet I remember my family talking about their worst bosses, right? And this could be my brother coming home from, living away after college and going, oh my God, this guy's terrible. This gal's mean. And all of us have those stories. And so what the challenge is that as younger generations are moving into leadership positions, millennials will be 75% of leadership positions by 2030, I think was the most recent study that I saw. We've got folks that weren't brought up in the baby boomer age, and yet all have been influenced by baby boomer kind of mindset and philosophy. And the challenge is that we are not providing really good role models for Gen X or Gen Z, who are not going to put up with a command and control environment.
That's right.
They're just not.
Not for long.
No, and it's interesting because this is such a huge challenge, well beyond the incredible negative impact of the pandemic. And we're not out of the woods yet, but we can create an environment where people feel connected to something bigger than themselves. That's the root definition of purpose. And you and I both have talked about the importance of having significance be basically driven by service to others. What a surprise. So as we look at the experience employees have every day, where their bosses say, I don't care if you're happy, get this crap done and make sure, it's done to standard. It's like, well, that doesn't feel like I'm respected for my ideas, my efforts, or my contributions. Now, admittedly, not every employee is thinking exactly that way, but they feel it.
Oh, for sure.
So the biggest push is to allow a bit of a reflection on the command and control mindset, and to say, if we can help people realize that they're actually improving lives, improving communities. And maybe that means, yes, you're doing volunteer work and letting folks spend a week a year on a personal sabbatical to support a charity. That starts to get into the heart drive of this human life we have in front of us. And so enabling, yes, we have to make money. And yes, organizations need to be successful so they can invest further into employees and communities, et cetera. But we have to be able to be as bold about service and helping others as we are about making money.
Absolutely. So let's can you offer like a kind of a concrete example here of this? So let's just come back to World Kitchen, because I think this is perfect. What's probably going through a lot of people's minds is we make widgets. How are we going to communicate how we're making the lives of people in the global community or a local community better? And World Kitchen is kind of like that, right? They make Pyrex, they make utensils or whatever it is. This is not like curing cancer, right? So how do you take something that's just very pragmatic, just a very need-based business, and connect that to making an impact in the lives of both the customers and the community?
It's interesting because the conversations that I have with leaders, and again, this 2-day offsite, and I give them homework in advance and say, we need to be thinking about this. And again, that push for, I know there's performance, financial pressures for you to do this quarter, this next quarter, et cetera. Let's talk about what your products do for families, and what do they do for for single parents or kids going off to college. People are, college campuses are now opening again, kind of, right? And kids are going back to school. But they went to the place of, we want to make the kitchen a place of joy and creativity. And it was like, that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a shift, right? Because a lot of people view the kitchen as like, oh, this is just one more thing I have to do after a long day of work, is get,
could be drudgery. It may not be family, friends, and that kind of thing. Now, again, you've got so many different operational kind of functions. You've got manufacturing. They're thinking safety, right? Well, good, because these are big. I think when we did a tour of one of the plants, the temperature of Corelle before it gets poured is not just 100 degrees. It's hundreds, and it's just wild.
Right.
But it's like, okay, so the safety thing is really key there. But that's not what causes people to want to be able to be a part of this thing, to be able to go home and go, it was hard, but we kind of created this cool new gadget. And again, I love the gadgets, right? And I remember being in China with one of the sessions we did for the Asia operations with World Kitchen. And there was a presentation by the product development folks and they had just acquired a company called Snapware, which I believe is still part of the company. And it's kind of like Tupperware-ish things, Rubbermaid-ish things. Sorry about the branding, guys. I know you're going to hate me for that. But it's like, this is a way to make this easier. It lasts longer. It's easier. It's freezable. It's microwavable. And I'm like, that's actually, you think of, quote, somebody going, well, we need this product, and this is kind of the noise we've heard. How do we make it fun? Right? How do we make it easy for folks to try something different instead of same old, same old? So that was their take. I'm not using their exact language, but it's that shift from how does the user benefit? Now, what is very cool, and this happened with many of the operations in World Kitchen, was they began to look for operations that were doing it really well. And they had this small distribution center in Southern California that had 90% engagement, that had very, very low turnover. And it's like, well, what are they doing over there?
Right.
And of course, it's that those two senior leaders of that plant said, these are the rules. You're not going to be mean. You're not going to lie. And it's like, it's the exact same kind of guidelines that if we really wanted our kids to go to something like that, that's what we'd ask for.
Right.
If we wanted to go and spend 60 hours a week doing it, that's what we'd ask for. So it was kind of fun for them to start to look internally to say, how can that engagement rate be double? The plant in Pennsylvania or in Dublin,
Yeah, right.
So it was really cool.
We hope you found this video valuable. If you'd like to listen to the entire 30-minute interview, please visit our website at businessleadershiptoday.com. Also, if you'd like to see more videos like this one, please be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and opt in for notifications. Until next time, I wish you great success building a world-class organization that improves the lives of employees and makes a positive impact in our world.